So this is Logan Loader. He now rides for CashCall Mortgage Cycling, and he rode in 2012 for Team Exergy, which is no longer. And so we just want to thank you for joining us today on Cycling Illustrated. He's joining us from Monterey. And so tell me how you went from Team Exergy to CashCall. How did that relationship happen?
Pretty early in the year, I got a contact from Paul, the director, and he got in touch with me back in August, I think. Told me he was interested, and we stayed in touch for a few months. I wasn't sure what I was going to do because I was pretty happy at Exergy, but after really getting to know Paul and his program, it made complete sense to go that way, where I could ride for results a little more and ride for a great director and management team. So basically he contacted me, and it just went from there.
Well, there was big news released today, and I was just looking over your roster, and I'll mention like Justin Williams, a Devin Dunn, Cole House, an 18-time national and world championships, Mr. Mike Olheiser. I mean, CashCall's really on the map now. How do you feel about your new teammates?
I think we have everything from really proven riders to riders that aren't so proven, but they're ready to be. We have strong horsepower with guys like Olheiser and Cole House, also Devin Dunn. A lot of these guys, we have young riders that are going to be quite good, I think, in the near future with Wes Holloway and Justin Williams has just been getting better the last few years. I think that we're ready for the biggest races, and I think that we have a realistic chance of winning the biggest races in the U.S. That being said, we definitely have our hands full with teams like JJ Hayato just came back now with Jameis. We have Bevan, who's with Bissell. There's definitely a lot of big teams out there with strong rosters, but I really am confident in our roster, and I think we'll be right up there with the biggest teams.
How has your role changed from last year to this year? I mean, you're obviously one of the leaders on that team now. So yeah. What are you looking for result-wise in 2013?
So the first question was how it's changed. Last year on Exergy, I was definitely a little more of a lead-out rider. We had Carlos Alzate and Freddie Rodriguez both, and I was helping them a bit. But now I get to kind of, try to win races on my own and be a little bit more of a leader when the days are good for me. So yeah, I'll definitely be searching for my own results too, while helping the team. With someone like Justin Williams, I think he'll be looking forward to winning some of the bigger crits in the country, and that's kind of where where mine will be more on the longer road races and the sprint stages during the stage races. So it's definitely changed from kind of a crit background to now focusing more on the big stage races and trying to win some of my own races.
Well, it looks like you guys certainly have the firepower there.
Yeah.
Last year, you were in some very big races, like Tour of California. How did you fare in those races?
It was pretty tough. I was really excited to do Tour of California, but I happened to have an accident right before the race and went in there a little injured. So I kind of went more from riding as a lead-out rider to being a domestique and getting bottles for the team, doing a lot of mixed work there, but it was great experience. I think races that I'll try this year to get more results are the bigger stuff. There's stages at Joe Martin, or you have Redland stages, San Dimas, of course, Gila, all those stage races. So that's kind of what I'll be looking forward to more this year. And kind of building on last year's, getting to do California, getting to do Gila, doing all these races. It just adds miles to help you this year.
Well, teach us a little bit about, you guys just finished up a team camp and you have another one coming up. take me inside those huddles with your director. What are the topics like?
At team camp, it's very positive. All the energy's positive. It's the first time on the team where all the riders have faith in each other. But not only that, the riders have faith in the staff have faith in the riders, and it even goes a step deeper with the sponsors. We have so much support from KHS Bikes, Surface. All of our sponsors have all come together, and it's definitely, everybody are good friends, and it's a family. Everybody's very close. So when we talk, it's not just as co-workers like of other teams I've been on. It's more of friends, and when I want to talk to my closest people, they're my teammates now, which is great. So I think that's going to make a huge difference this year. When you're that close to your teammates, it just lets you go a little bit deeper and get to the next step to really sacrifice yourself for them and get the next result.
It's really good information. Have you had any setbacks in your career? I know you're a young guy, but have you had any setbacks yet, or?
Last year I got hurt for part of the season right before the Tour California. I broke 3 ribs at Joe Martin. There's many setbacks like that. There's sickness, there's injuries, but to the most part, not really. No, I've been pretty lucky so far.
Well, how do you manage through 3 broken ribs and continue to ride your bike?
It's just, I don't know. It's when you put so much into a sport and so much into what you do, you don't want to let it be ruined by anything. And yeah, it's hard at times to get through that, but it's worth it because you're putting so many hours, you put so much of your life into a goal. You don't want to let something truly ruin it.
Who's the person who's had the most tremendous impact on your career?
Oh gosh, there's been a lot of people. I've got a great coach with Chris Burnham. I've been mentored by Freddie Rodriguez, who's also been a huge impact. My old director Matthew Moore has been great impact. So there's been so many people. It's hard to name one.
Have you had your moment or your breakthrough yet?
No. That's what I'm hoping to do with CashCall this year. So, and rather on my moment, I'd rather it be my year.
That's a very good thought. In a crit, I like to give younger guys a little breakdown. If you're in like a Redlands criterium and there's 5 laps to go.
Yeah.
What's your thought process, or can you give me the breakdown of how it breaks down in your mind?
Do you mean tactically?
Tactically, yeah. Tactically.
You've got to look at your team, and if you have strong riders, you need to be honest about it, but you also need to know your weaknesses. And I know that we've got some of the fastest guys in the country, but there's also other teams like Bissell or James or some of those teams where the guys have ridden together for years on years. So I think rather than taking a young team of 7 riders or 8 riders, however many you have there, and trying to fight one of the bigger, older teams for the front of the race with 5 laps to go, it's really best just have you guys close to each other and save themselves, and try to go, with a lap to go rather than 5 to go, because it's definitely a war up front. And if you can let the other teams have some of the power, some of the control, and use up some of their guys, you're definitely going to be a lot better off trying to surprise them or come around them in the end.
Well, when you speak about it being a war, I mean, there's some guys that have a very hard time when it comes down to the last lap, whether holding their position, getting bumped, trying to go around the outside all the way to the finish. How do you block all that out and stay strong right through the finish of that race?
There's a few parts to it. I mean, there's definitely focus, and when you're so focused on winning a race or a single goal, that's all you're thinking about, and everything almost slows down. A second part to that is you've got to rely on your teammates, and this year going, just to name a few of the strengths we've got is Devin Dunn. He's proven now in the hard road races. He's definitely going to be at the front of those races. We've got time trial world champion on the team with Olheiser, who can ride in the wind and keep the sprinters at the front of the race. I've got Cole House, who I truly think he's one of the fastest guys in the country with a lap to go, or Justin Williams, who has technical skills that other people cannot match and can get into places and around people where other people could not even think about doing. So I think with our team, although it's a bit of a smaller team, we've got a guy for every finish and every race we do.
Sounds like it. I mean, when that roster came out, you guys are definitely going to be a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I think Paul had a really good vision about 3 months ago, and he really followed through with building a team that can win the biggest races in the country. And I think of all different types, Devin Dunn again, he's going to really have a great year. Wes Holloway, another young climber who's going to have a great year. Cole House, great rider. We've got so many good guys that I think, I don't think it's going to be looked at as a smaller team anymore. I think it's definitely a step up.
Yeah. Can you name a couple pivotal moments in your career that's had a big impact on you as a bike rider?
Yeah, sure. I went to Europe when I was really young. I raced in Europe from, off and on from when I was 17 years old to 21 years old. I won the Mirko Cycling Classic last stage of it last year, the Queen stage, as well as second on GC. That was a good result. There's many moments, it's hard to name one, but yeah, there's been some great moments, but also some down moments. And I think sometimes the best thing is the hard time. So I think that's what shapes a rider.
Absolutely. Will we see you riding on the big stage in Europe someday?
That's the goal. That's definitely, it's every decision I make with day-to-day life, whether it's on the bike or off the bike, that's the goal in mind. And with that being said, I also think you could see me there with the same jersey on. I think CashCall and all the sponsors are committed to the team, and I think that the whole team could be over there. So we're hoping.
That's great. Well, you look great in your new uniform. Did you want to add anything?
Not really. I just want to thank everybody that's looking at the interview, and thanks for following me throughout the years and what I will be doing for years to come. It's been a great time, and I look forward to everything that's to come. So I think we'll have some things to talk about throughout the year on your website as well. So.
Well, great. I'm sure we'll catch up, and it's been great talking to you, and Cycling Illustrated definitely wishes the best for you and CashCall as you guys start to grab all your goals this year. So
yeah,
congratulations on the move, and I'll talk to you again very soon.